Everybody, and welcome back to the Combe Valley Campers YouTube channel, live in my garage working on this 1968 Westphalia VW Bay camper. It's not got any better since I last saw you. In fact, I have realised quite a few things in the last week. In the last video, we tried to fit a new steering column and realised it didn't fit, and I was adamant, and so was my friend who sold me the steering column. We were adamant that the steering column was right for the car, and after some research this week we have discovered that this right here, although listed as a 1968, has a host, sorry, it's registered, not registered, but we've checked all the numbers, and it's a 1969 bus. This is actually a 1969 with a bunch of 1968 parts. So there's some things going on with this bus, and I've had to do a bit more research and found out that the actual steering column that we tried to fit last week is completely wrong, and the one that I need is really rare and therefore really expensive. Just the steering cowl itself has, well, I see it listed on eBay and it's something like £322 just for the steering column. So we've made some moves this week to try and find the parts that we need for this bus. Well, first of all, let's get on with sort of the comments. We've got one straight in here. We've got Neho. He says, is this Ronnie Pickering? Nah, man. Nah, my name's Leigh. This is the Combe Valley Campers YouTube channel, and we're live in my garage at home working on this rusty turd to try and make it more better, basically. What this is, well, Combe Valley Campers, we have something like 300 plus videos on YouTube that help you build your camper van. When we can't upload on a regular basis like we do live videos like we are today. And it gives us an opportunity to sort of hang out, chill, and just work together. There's nothing better than hanging out in a garage and working on a car with your buddies, is it? So this is what we're doing here. We've got Urban Arc Overland in. That's Aidan. He says evening. Good evening, sir. How are you? I hope you're very well. If you don't know, Urban Arc Overland is a YouTuber buddy of mine, and he is currently building a VW T7. Yeah, Volkswagen Transporter T7. And yeah, it's controversial, isn't it, Aidan? It's controversial. I absolutely love the van he's building. He loves the van he's building. Lots of people have got lots of things to say. But if you want to learn more about the VW T7 and his journey with it so far, go and check out Urban Arc Overland on YouTube as well. And it's nice for him to come in and hang out. So cheers, buddy. Apparently, Aidan says not allowed to call him that. Sorry, okay. The Volkswagen Transporter, the new Volkswagen Transporter. Thank you very much, buddy. Well, we've got a few of you in the chat right now. It's nice to see you, nice to hang out. What we normally do is ask you a couple of questions as well. So although this is a AMA Q&A type deal, whilst I'm working on these vans, we ask you questions as well. But let's go straight back in. So Neho says, is this Ronnie Pickering? No, it's not. He's also come back in and said, I loved your video with Rain Automotive. Thank you very much. Carl Marlowe is in. He says, good evening, Leigh. Good evening. We've got Sanju Club. Says, hi, buddy, WTS. I don't know what WTS means, my man. But yeah, so one of the questions we ask straight off the bat is, who are you? Where are you from? What van do you drive if you have one? And have you been working on it? Have you been doing some conversion work on it? Have you been out camping this weekend? It's always nice to sort of share campsites, locations, things like that as well. I haven't done any camping since coming back from our trip. We were meant to have our event, Campers and Coffee. That got cancelled, sadly, due to the rain again. But hey, I've got some bits and pieces planned. So yeah, going back to the beginning of the video, this is almost a 1 year only, or it's got some 1 year only parts. So I have to spend some real money on this, sadly, just to try and get things working, like the steering, like we attempted last week. So yes, if you want to sort of chit chat or give this video a like already, just double tap the screen right there and that will give this video a thumbs up. So thank you very much for that in advance. I will show you in here in a second, but first of all, what are you drinking? Today, I'm on the Strongbow. This is Strongbow the tin's really worn out because it's been sort of hanging out in my camper van all summer. and it's not my go-to drink, but it's in the garage, and I thought I'd chill out with a Strongbow tonight. I mean, I can't really call it a cider. It's a cider flavoured carbonated alcoholic beverage, but it's not fantastic, is it? Anyway, so let me bring you in here. Oh, sorry, Niho's back. He says, hi, I'm Nick from South Devon and doing up a T5.1, my first van. Nice one, Niho. What Sanju Club says, what's up, buddy? I'm all good, my man. Thank you so much. Like I said, if you are watching this, just double tap on the screen. That gets the likes up, that gets the thumbs up, and it pushes this video out to more people. So, yes, what are we up to today? So we are in the belly of the beast. We are in the engine bay. And if I just adjust my light, we'll be able to get a bit more light on the subject. Got a light just tucked in there behind you. And when I got this vehicle, this was basically full of mouse nest and what they call dirt daubers, or at least the homes of dirt daubers. It was full of foliage, so I've been slowly cleaning it up. Although it doesn't really look like it, I have been slowly cleaning this up, and in an aim to get this running. I want this running fairly shortly. I've found a used engine. I've got the used engine, and I've got the used engine running. And I want to be able to make this mobile. So I'm concentrating on the wiring in here, but as you can see, there's lots of bare cables with nothing on the end. That's a red cable. That should be a negative because it goes straight to the body here, look. So what I've got some parts and pieces and things like that. And I'm gonna try and piece together, what we've got in here. So when the engine turns up, we should hopefully be able to slot it in, plumb up some fuel and just, you know, get on with it really. Dub says, evening Lee, hope all good. Yeah, man, thanks so much. That's Dubs. Sanju Club says, the number of live views on the YouTube channel I'm visiting is increasing. Excellent stuff. Thank you very much, Sanju Club. Taxi Driver says, good evening, Lee. Good evening, sir. Nice to see you. James says, good evening, Lee. How's it going, guys? Yes, so just to reiterate, we're in the engine bay of this 1968 bay, a bay that I've been doing up very, very slowly in any sort of spare minute of free time that I have, which is very, very rare. But doing these lives on a Sunday is a good excuse to sort of hang out in the garage with you lot, and I absolutely love it. So what have I been up to then? So I've been, let me just flip you round and sort of show you what we've got going on here. So this is my 1968 bay, and the whole van, everything that you see looked like this. If I just adjust that light or even bring it out here, look. So the whole van looked like this. This blue, this rusty colour. But I've been slowly, in fact, you can see the comparison here. Look, if I leave that light there, everything looked like this, but I've been slowly bringing back the paint to look like this. And, you know, it's rusty and it's got some bits and pieces. And it's got some paint fade and everything else. But what I've successfully managed to do is do the whole side of the bus. And in fact, you can see a little bit of gloss there. This is going to get turned around this week. I'm actually going to pull the bus out the garage, turn it around and bring it back in so I can work on the other side. But yeah, what we're on now is in the engine bay, and you can see how long this has been sitting because there's like a rust corrosion all over, which I can slowly bring back like this. It's going to be a lot of labour, a lot of hours, a lot of chemicals, a lot of abrasion. And I've been finding bits slowly, much like this rear valance. Look, this was a Slough swap meet. I bought this. It says rat £40, and I've managed to sort of bend it into shape and squeeze it in there. I've even used some like random screws to sort of hold it in place. But this is part of the rear valance of the vehicle. Let me put that light in one place so we don't get nauseous. So yes, behind this panel here, if you're unfamiliar with bay window buses, behind that panel there is the fuel tank, and I might actually whip that off today with you guys because I've not actually looked behind there yet, so that would be quite an interesting thing to see. I found this voltage regulator module. That was in my box of spares. That is mounted where it should be from factory because I'm just chasing these wires. So we have, well, I've also chucked in a starter motor. It's not the right starter motor for it, but basically I'm trying to tie up loose cables and see what I've got and what I need. So if we actually start in here, you can see at the back of this starter motor, if I move that, at the back of this starter motor, I've got the main live coming from the front of the vehicle. That's hooped in there, look. And then I have the cable, the igniter or ignition wire, and that kicks the solenoid in and therefore starts the starter motor in here, look. It's not the right one, it doesn't fit properly, but it's here, like I say, just so I can eliminate places where cable goes. So I've got these two red ones in there. What is missing from there is a live that goes from this voltage regulator, goes through this grommet, and then loops round and onto the back of that starter as well, because obviously the starter needs a large live, or one main live going from there. Found this voltage regulator in my spares. Don't know if it works or not, but again, it's eliminating bits and pieces. This is a alternator charge wire for your dash. Makes your dash light go out to tell you that the alternator's working. So right there's a terminal, and right there, this cable should go on quite nicely. Do bear in mind that I'm trying to do this one-handed, and what I might do whilst you're here as well is just screw that screw in so that doesn't waggle around. Again, I'm just using random screws to put things in place. We have the main looms running from the front of the car into the engine bay. We have this one here. Now this goes to, this one here is a blue with a green tracer, and that goes to the oil pressure light, and that turns the other light off on your dash that tells you that the engine's got oil pressure. And this one, if I remember right, that is the main live that goes to the coil. So that's really all the wiring to the engine on the main loom. Then there's two cables that go to the alternator or generator, in this case for this van, and that clips onto these two terminals here. So there'll be a live coming from the generator to this point, and then there'll be a green going to this one here, and then this live down here goes to the main battery that lives in this location. So what I need to sort out today with you guys, hopefully, is a main live from the starter to this point, a main live from here to the battery, and then a main live from here to the battery, and a main live from here to where the alternator will sit about up here, and then maybe a green if you've got the right color. Then we need to sort out an earth, because the battery is going to live right here, and I've had a look, and I think I need an old school battery where the positive terminal is in the opposite way, because right now I picked up a spare battery from work. This is effectively a dead battery, didn't pass the test, from an old customer's car. Didn't scrap it, but I tried my best to charge it over a few days, but it's almost like the terminals are the wrong way round, because really I should have a pos this side and a neg this side, because the neg is here, although it could be long enough to go to the other side of the battery. I'd want the shortest distance from a positive terminal to that regulator there. So short neg, short live, have the battery plonked in here. Now whilst we're in here, you can see that this is really the only part of this bus that has ever had any welding. If you take a look, although it's damaged, this is what body damage looks like from the inside. See, it's all creased and rotten and horrible, and this should actually be a flat piece of metal, but you can see how creased it is down there. This has obviously been damaged or replaced in the past. You can see this real poor welding all the way round. This tray is not original, and you can even see round the side and back where this panel's actually been replaced at a body shop, because it's all original paint. Then it goes into some bodywork, goes into some filler, and there's the join there. So this has had what's called a bottom corner or a rear quarter battery tray and corner in its life. Don't forget, this is a 68, so it's been around a while, so you'd expect some welding, but in terms of the rest of the vehicle, this thing is absolutely solid. It's orange and it's got surface rust, but this thing's really, really solid. So what I might do is just chuck a battery up in there, if I can, if that tray doesn't fall through, and then make up some wires with you guys. But looking back at the comments, sorry, we'll go back here. So you can look at my ugly mug and the engine bay. James says, been trying to fit the ceiling panels to my T5 with hidden trim clips. It doesn't really work. I can see why your website doesn't recommend it. True, we don't use hidden trim clips for ply panels. Basically, the thinnest you can get away with on the ceiling, ideally, is a 3.6mm ply. Then, once you've carpeted it, both sides, it makes it quite a thick panel and therefore heavy. And if you use invisible trim clips, all they want to do is fall down. So we use the push-through trim clips on the roof, and that keeps things nice up there. Peter Pretchell says, hi, good evening. That car guy said needs an LS swap. I'd love to. How cool would that be? But it's heavy and the engine would fit about here. This is the back of the car. The gearbox is only there. And then I think if I put an LS in there, I mean, it'd be very cool. Gosh, can you hear my elephants upstairs running around? My kid's upstairs and that is thumping around. Taxi driver said, I went to the Somerset Festival of Transport with the Mark V Transit camper today. There was a great show of classic cars. Nice sunshine made the day extra nice. Super nice. Well done, my man. Well done, my man. So to those who are watching and those who have just joined us, first of all, if you like the video, if you like what we're doing, please just ding ding, tap the screen just there, and that will give this video a thumbs up. Helps with the channel, helps with the pushing the live out there. My name's Leigh, this is Combe Valley Campers, and we're working on my 1968 Bay. So I ask you a couple of questions. Some people have already answered. Who are you? Where are you from? Do you have a camper van? Where have you been out camping? Have you worked on your van? You're doing some conversion work. And also the other question is what you're drinking. I'm on a strong boat tonight. So cheers, everybody. And if you've got any questions to ask me about camper conversions or anything else, please feel free to do that. Right, so we know that this cable is here and fairly good. We will need to extend these cables in the future. That is the the oil pressure light here, that's blue with a green tracer. And then this is the live coming from the front of the vehicle as well. So that'll be an ignition live. So when you turn the ignition on, that will go click, turn on the, or put live to the coil, turn off the fuel cutoff solenoid on the carb. And that's about it really on these older versions. But I think without further ado, I mean, this thing, it's got lots of stuff chopped out of it. Do I delve in here? This is only really like light loom wiring. Do I delve into that? Do I get into it? Do you want to come along for the journey? I think we might have to, might we? So why don't I put you, if I can get my tripod in there, let's see if I can do this. I might have made a fatal mistake. In fact, no, let's just leave you there, look. There you go. You can rest up in there, guys. You can rest up in there and you can see us working on here. So I am going to go and get some black and red cables and just see what I can do with mounting one on the regulator here. There you go. So there's the voltage regulator here. I'm going to put another screw in there right now so that can stay still, stay static. Where is my screwdriver? I had it out earlier, but I will get another one. Being that the toolbox is right here. Man, I have the crummiest tools in this place. It's all my sort of leftovers from work, really. If they get worn out at work, I kind of bring them here. So let's see if I can fit this screw down here. Then at least we have something mounted. And we know where it's going to live. Man, there are some huge terminals on there. Right, there's one down there. And we'll finish mounting that one at the top. And let's have a look at mounting some of these. So yeah, that was from a swap meet, had a sticker for £1 on it. Taxi driver's back in, says surface rust is nothing that some Gelinite wouldn't sort out. Ah, I will have to sort that out. Now I can't see any of the sort of comments and stuff. No, there I can. Here you go, how's that? Let's leave that about there. Cool. So yes, in the engine bay, in the belly of the beast, I'm going to look for some cables to replace that one. So that's our ground cable. So I need something in black. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you with me so you can see just how small this workspace is. So we're in my single garage. That's the wall to one side, that's the wall to the other, and this is sort of my work area. So I brought some stuff from work. I've got a tray of spade terminals, a tray of ring terminals. Oh, here you go. This is the rear light and the reverse light, or the rear lights and reverse light for this vehicle. There you go, bought them from a swap meet. How much does that say? 68 the pair, genuine VW split or bay. We've got some nice Hella reversing lights. They're ready to go in. But in here, there you go. Now this is all stuff left over from other jobs, but I can reutilize it for some of the stuff we are doing. That seems like something decent. It's got M8 terminals on both ends. In fact, an M8 and an M6, that could be absolutely perfect. I'll take that with. What else we got going on? That one's a bit too, I don't know, that could work. It's quite a thick one. Yeah, and I can always chop that down. Let's take that one and that one for now. And maybe that one too. Cool. Kurt Winkler says, will you be installing a 1600cc engine in it? Yes, that is the plan. And I found an early bay engine with the right tinware. Right, so onto the black or ground cables. That's a fairly good one there. And that even says body earth on it. These are all left over from looms we fitted, wiring we've taken out of other vehicles. It's got some really good thick stuff there. But I don't think I need anything too crazy. So there's this one. Perfect. And what I've got some terminals, so I can chop them down. I'll just see if there's anything shorter for now. So that's one we can use. Is there anything shorter? Huh. Oh, there's a battery terminal in there too, look. That'll be helpful. Boom, and it's a positive. Is there a negative one in there? Oh, that could be perfect. It's got red on one end, but that could be perfect for my ground. Nice and short too. Okay. Is there another battery terminal in there? I don't think so. Oh yes, spotted. Spotted one. Right, what have we got there? Taxi driver says, how about relocating the battery to the inside of the van, somewhere more accessible? Ah, so this is the battery for the vehicle. This isn't the leisure battery we're looking at. This is the vehicle battery. And it is super accessible, because all you need to do is open the engine bay and you're there. Right, I'm going to chuck them down there for a second. There you can see just about how much room I don't have. Let's grab some tools. Let's see what we've got down here. I left some tools from last week. There's the fateful steering column that did not fit for us. Bit irritating. Looks like I'm working in a mess, but I do try my best. All right, there we go. Yeah, this is all just parts. Like I say, this is all getting tidied up this week. There we go. Right, so if you are new, again, I'll keep repeating myself because there's new people that come in on the live videos all the time. People just scroll through. It's all things I'm learning about live video. If you're new, if you haven't caught up with us yet, my name's Leigh. This is the Coombe Valley Campers YouTube channel, and we're working on my 68 bay live. And right now, I'm about to take this cable out to replace it with one that is not rusty, or at least has got an end on it. What have we got? Kyle Marlowe says, organised chaos. Yeah, exactly. Especially when you're in a space that's not even a metre wide. Trying my best, you know? Trying my best. Good stuff. So what have you guys been up to this week? What's that? Joshua Lawyer says, I'm new here. Good day to you, Joshua. Oh yeah, see, there's a good reason to swap out your terminals. Look how rusty and crusty that is. And what I'll do, I'll clean up this point down here. I've got some sandpaper out somewhere. Again, the whole organised chaos thing. Where are we? Abrasives, there you go. Got me some sandpaper. So yes, if you are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Nice to have you on board. So we have Sally Smith. Evening, Lee. Wondering which you think is more reliable, a 12-volt leisure battery setup or Bluetti style setup? Just back from a weekend in the Wye Valley with a T5 and on the T. Good stuff. Right, Sally. It depends what you're using them for, really. It depends what you're using your leisure system for. If you are using your leisure system just to... Oops, nearly fell. If you're using your leisure battery just to charge your phones, maybe run some LED lights, maybe even run your fridge, then having... Is that going to fit? Oh yeah, that'd be great. That's a good size one. Having a Bluetti would be fine. Maybe you want to use it to boil a kettle or use an induction hob. Bluettis are great for that. Or the power packs. You can upgrade them. You can use them in your home. You can do all sorts of things with them. But what you can't do is run high amperage products off it, like a diesel heater, for example. Some more modern power packs are now coming out with like a 30 amp 12 volt DC outlet, which is great because you can almost hardwire them in and plug in your cigar lighter socket. But out of the power packs I'd use right now, I'd go for something like a Clayton, which I know is very expensive, but it has actually a proper positive and negative terminal that you can then wire up a fuse panel to. That's if you're considering going down the power pack route. Again, depends on how you're going to use it. Power packs are fantastic. Maybe you want to run a laptop, some USB sockets and some lights, perfect. But if you want anything more and you want some longevity and you want 3 permanent ways of charging it, like hookup, 12 volt DC charging and solar, that's all permanently wired into your van, I'd have a look at getting a more permanent system like a 12 volt leisure battery. I hope that helps. Any more information you need, have a look back at our proper videos. You know, I thought long form YouTube videos, and you can see all the bits and pieces I go through. The most recent one I did was with Rain Automotive, where it was the easy wiring systems. One was a permanent setup and one was a Clayton. Taxi driver says, got my PSV minibus MOT on Tuesday. Good luck with that, taxi driver. Kyle says, just finished my pull-out drawer in the T5. Awesome. That's really, really cool. All of these things, actually, if you want to maybe share your pictures with us, we always share your self-build pictures on our social media. So if you're inclined, you want to see your work shown off, then please feel free to send it over to us and we'll put it on our stories. Kyle then says, new storage unit to design in the coming weeks. He also says, Bluetti AC240 has the 12 volt 30 amp RV socket. Well, there you go. Thank you very much for that. Like I say, I knew Bluettis and things were now creating these units with higher output DC sockets. So there's just an example. What was that? The AC240p. Good stuff. Dub says, sorry to ask again, do you stock Fogstar Drift batteries? At the minute, no one's stocking Fogstar Drift because they've been out of stock for a couple of weeks. But yes, we do. If you want one in particular, give us a shout and we can hook you up, okay? Right, so we're putting on this ground for now, although I really should put an end on that. I will do another day, but for now, I don't have my large crimps on, which is a bit annoying. Or I could just put the long one on. No, I'm going to cut that down as well. Do you know what? I'm going to put the long one on. So that's going to go on there. I can really clamp that down nicely. And that is the first of the new wires going in. In fact, I've got the tools to cut this down right here, right now. I think. Do we? Yeah, I do. Right, so there we go. the ground cable is now changed to something new. What I can do, see all these terminals here? You might not be able to, but these are all the ground cables for things like the reverse light and this light unit that goes in here. Might even pop them in today. What do you reckon? See how much time we get. How long are we in? We're actually, no way are we 30 minutes into this already. Goodness me. Well, there's 30 of you in and watching, and there's only 9 thumbs up. If any of you would do me a huge favour and just sort of double tap the screen right there, that would give me a massive boost. It would get the video out to more people, and it just makes me all warm and fuzzy inside. And if that doesn't work, if double tapping the screen doesn't work, there should be 3 dots up here somewhere. If you tap that, and then you can go ahead and like the video as well. There we go. So first cable on, but I am going to have to trim it down because it is a bit too long. Find the right cutters, if I have them. If not, they're up here. Those will have to do for now. I'm going to cut that about there. Boom. There we go. That will then have a nice new ring terminal on the end and then fit up to my ground cable, depending on where I finish that. So the next one, we need a long live cable to go from the starter to this voltage regulator here. Ew. God, I cut myself yesterday and that really hurt. Right, the heavy duty crimpers for battery leads terminals are so expensive. Correct, yes they are. Right, this one I'm going to lead through the bodywork, like I said earlier. You see that coming out the other side. Going to fit through? Yeah. And then I'm going to have that finish up on the terminal on the back of the starter motor. So if I bring you with, so that's going to go from here round with the other wires, and then it terminates there on the back of the starter. And if I remember right from the oh, that goes to there actually. I have to find a really wide crimp to go to here, and then this then goes to the battery. But let me just confirm that. I'm going to put you just here. Let's see if I'm allowed to. Is this going to not go live? Yes. This red one here that I showed you earlier. Oh, look at that. We had another like when I asked. That's wonderful. Yes, if you are watching, there are 22 of you watching right now. If you wouldn't mind, just give this video a thumbs up. I'm going to keep asking because it really, really helps the videos. So to give it a like, there's either 3 dots up in the top corner or you double tap on the screen about here. So yes, this lead here will lead straight to the battery around about there. So I can chop that off. So that's very cool. Yeah, I'm going to chop. Do you know what? I'm just going to leave that one in there for now. But that is yet another cable. So we've got a main ground and a main live. So that's cool. And if I bring you back here, I'm going to have another quick look on Google. Not Google. I've saved the picture before. So I can just... So that is down here. Right down there, look. So I need to at least get one in place. So this one will go down here. Do you reckon this one will fit up there, look? There's actually cable clamp areas. I could get a couple of cables in there, couldn't I? So that's one. And maybe this is the other one. And that'll end up going down here. But I don't actually have any terminals that size. Normal terminals are this size here, but these ones here are like double the width. So yeah, that's B plus down there. Sorry, do apologise. Again, watching my ugly mug, watch this terminal up here, and then DF is this one. This will have a red cable going to the alternator, and this will have a green cable going to the alternator. So that's those done there. Shall we maybe look at fitting those rear lights? That would be a nice satisfying thing to do, wouldn't it? Carl Marlowe says, tested out the bus box cab set yesterday. Brilliant bit of kit. Oh, nice one. Is that the cab curtain set? Because that would be super cool. Right, I'm going to leave those large cables in there regardless. Move these tester cables. Maybe we can test some lights out, because I have my test leads and I have a Milwaukee battery with me too. So maybe we can test out some lights today, maybe light some things up. That would be cool. Right, bear with us one moment. Let's see what we've got. Oh no, I have some DeWalt batteries instead. But are they 18 volt? Oh, boo, they're 18 volt. But we do have a battery here. So this is cool. We are cooking on gas, people. Right, let me go and get a light lens and a reverse light. Let's see if we can get some. See if we can get some light going on. Because that would be super cool. There we go. So, let me grab a screwdriver. I can start undoing these lights. Oh, there you go. Carl says, the kit you showed me in the open day, super quick to install and perfect blackout. Nice one. Sally says, really helpful, thank you. I've confirmed what I was thinking, so pleased with that. Main consideration is my diesel heater and possibly fridge, so leisure battery it is, will hit the videos. Nice one. And when it comes to buying parts, do let me know as well. Right, so a question we ask is, what are you drinking? So everybody's watching right now, there's 25 of you. If you fancy getting down in the comments, just let me know what you've got. You've got a beer, a coffee, a tea, a water? I have, quite frankly, a terrible cider. Now, I believe these are crimped together. So if I undo that, and these are all perfectly patinaed. None of these are perfect. See, it's all crispy and rotten. So I'm going to put that back on. I'm going to connect up my little tester leads here. See what we've got going on. Is that a neg? Yeah. Neg terminal, pos terminal. See if we can make some things light up, shall we? This will be fun. Whee! That is definitely live. Cool, let's see what we've got. Let's see what we've got. So this, the whole chassis of this should be the neg. That's not the one with the bulb in. I'll take that back. Right, so the chassis of this should be neg. Really? Chassis should be neg, and then that should be live. I just blown a bulb. Do excuse me. Right. So that's pos. Wow, check it out. Reverse light, people. Well, at least we know that works, huh? Just disconnect my cable. Just having trouble finding out where the ground goes. Let me show you why. There is remnants of an old reverse light left up in here. Here it comes. It's behind you. Now there's one and there's the other. I'm going to guess it uses the body ground. Because there's no, this is what I'm looking at here. Sorry, you can't even see what I'm looking at. So this is the one from inside the vehicle, the old crappy, very damaged one. although that could be straightened out. But it has a little earth terminal on here. And this one doesn't have anything like that on it. So I'm wondering whether it's grounded to the body. We'll have to double check. But for now, that little screw comes out of there. That little screw comes out of there. The front lens section comes off. The rubber, this is all a bit complicated, isn't it? So I believe that goes in here. Can you see what we're doing? Kind of. In there. Is that the bent one or the straight one? God, they're not much different. Do you reckon I could straighten that out? It's just going to snap immediately. Probably will, won't it? Where's those pliers I had? Let's see if we can fix this. Carmelo says, juice here. Me and the good lady had our share of ale yesterday. Brilliant stuff. Dub says, been building speaker enclosures today for the back of the van. Last beer for the day. Madry. Good stuff. Right, here we go. If I can bend that. Nah, see, that's cracking immediately. I think that, yeah, that's just going to crack straight away. That's a shame. Yep. Yeah, it's just breaking immediately. Right, so that one's toast. We know that. I'm just going to have to find a way to make sure that grounds. If not, I might have to tap that little area there. So this now needs to go into that rubber. That makes a perfectly good seal. Oh, that ain't gonna work, is it? Right, let me try this another way. Gosh, this could get complicated quick. Well, I hope you're having fun. Still can't believe we're 45 minutes into this already. That is ridiculous. Okay, let's try this another way. That can sit there like that. And will the rubber go round on the outside? There's one side. There's the other. Peeling the rubber in. Here you go, bottom first. So, does anybody watch our social media? Did you see the latest van we've just finished? A Mazda Bongo. Now, I never thought I'd see the day that I would convert a Mazda Bongo. But lo and behold, fallen in love with the little thing. Such a cool little van. From factory, comes with electric roof, electric window blinds, 2.5 litre turbo diesel, 4x4 automatic. The thing was remarkable. Check this out. Look at this. There you go, look. Our first light fitting. And if I do that, put that on there, yeah, it's still got the sticker on it, look. So hell is the right way up. I'm going to pop you back. Come on. And then that chrome ring goes on top, and the screws go in. There you go. That sits in the rubber. How cool will it be if we could get that lit today? Come on, baby. Let's put one screw in, just with a couple of threads. See if that wants to play. Cool. Kyle says, no, taxi driver. Did you get the steering column sorted last week? What did you do? Right, so I did explain this at the top of the video. Turns out this is, or has, some 1 year only parts on it. This is a 1968. Well, it has parts from a 1968. Turns out they're 1 year only. So I have to get 1 year only parts of this van, which means A, rare, and B, expensive. So trust me to get a 1 year only car. I have a car that needs 1 year only parts. And there's one currently available on eBay. And just the cowling, not the steering column, just the cowling, is £322 for just the bit that fits underneath the steering wheel and attaches to the body. So yeah, not entirely impressed with that, but hey, needs must and all that. There you go. Right, so that's in there. Fit in, please. This is definitely the sort of job you don't want to do under pressure. You stay there, and you go in there. There you go. We are in. And can we make this light up and look really, really cool? What have we got? We've got another couple of comments. Kyle says, look like a class conversion wife is looking forward to the new T6 video. Yeah, we filmed that this week. We filmed that video this week, and it should be fun. Should be really fun. Right, should we see if we'll get this working? Let's put our neg on and our pos without touching these two ends, because you don't want to do anything silly. Yep. Right, so if I touch that there and the side of the case, there you go. Oh man, that makes me so happy. Very cool. Right, I'm going to get the other light casing and then we'll try and put that one on. Quick swig of the old Strongbow. Oh shit. That's not a good look, is it? You should have told me that was happening. Something touched each other and then it got hot and melted the rubber. And that's why we do things live, people, because that is pretty hilarious. I love someone's comment. Dub's just gone, fire. Yeah, look what I did. So I got excited, put this cable down. This is my tester cable. And because I didn't disconnect it from the battery like a good boy, I melted something. So don't do that. Always disconnect your battery, people. But let's connect these two back up together. And so just chop that end off. That was so funny. Fire. Right, so let's keep them away from each other. Normally, that doesn't happen because normally I have a rubber boot on this end and a rubber boot on that end, and these connect into a Milwaukee battery really nicely. They go dink dink. But because I don't have my Milwaukee battery, I've only got M18 DeWalt batteries on me. I put these two down like I normally would, and they touched like that. So back to normal practice. Where's the ground for this? Again, it looks like it's a body ground, but let's see what we can do. If I put that there, turn you around. The toughest thing is I was shouting at the screen. Brilliant. Right, let's see if this will go. I could put that ground there. No, that's not a ground. Maybe. I think these are all so corroded. I don't think we'll even get anything on it. See what we can do though. Yeah, these are so corroded. Right. Let's learn from my last mistake and disconnect the battery. Yeah, these things are so corroded. Lens off. Let's take the bulb out. If it'll even come out. Yeah, check that out. Can you see it? Really badly corroded. I still have, do you know what? I'm going to use. There you go. See if I can clean that up a touch. I would probably have to clean all that up in there as well, to be honest, because that is looking terribly terrible in there. Will that even? Still works. And there's no bulb in the top one. So for now, we'll just have brake light. So if I stick that in here, will that still play for me? Connect my battery up carefully. Will this still play, or is everything blown out? Oh, that's a shame. Still working, right? Yep. So yeah, I think that bulb's toast. What a shame. Or it's just the corrosion's too high. Oh, there you go. Gosh. Try once again with the corrosion. But a 50-year-old car, I'm going to have to do this to every single terminal on here. I just want to see the lens light up red. I think that would be super cool. Is that it? Is that in? I think so. Right, let's see if this lens will light up red. So a little bit on there. That's for a little bit. Right, I'm going to shove that in there like that. Look. See if I can get that to light up red. Everything's going to need. Hey, doesn't that look good? That's so cool. Right, let's see if we can pop this in, and then we'll have some lenses. Or at least lenses on one side, and that'll be a nice conclusion to the video. We're at 54 minutes. I cannot believe how quickly it's gone tonight. All it needs is a little bit of fire, huh? let's chuck that in from the back. Let's see what trouble we can get into here. Yeah, this is all going to be very laborious, but nothing's for free, right? Nothing's for free. Kyle says, let there be light. Yes, indeed. It's quite exciting. Who knows when that bulb last lit up? Who knows the last time there was red light emitted through that lens? I love that sort of thing. Well, there you go. That is in. Let's put that lens on. Upside down. There you go. Let's try it that way. One screw. And 2 screws. How is that? Look at that. Now let's see if I can get both lights lit up. Because that would be a nice ending to the video, wouldn't it? Right, let's see what we can do. Let's see what I can mess up. I need a ground on both. I don't know how I'm going to do it. No, it's not playing yet. One moment. That's why it's not working. I haven't connected up the battery. There she is. Wowzers. There you go. How cool is that? Slowly coming back to life. I think that's upside down. Did I put that upside down? I think I did. I got too excited, didn't I? Right. Well, there we go. I've made fire. I've made light. I've done some wiring. And I've had fun with you lot. So thank you so much for joining us. If you are still watching and you have liked what we've done today, give us a thumbs up. If you just double tap your screen or there's some dots up in the corner, you can give the video a light up. Hang on, Dub says, celebrity Tom Hanks at Coombe Valley tonight, I made fire. Fire! Yeah, I haven't seen Wilson anywhere. I have a strong row instead. That'll have to do. Yes, I definitely, in my excitement, did that the wrong way round. But we made light up there. Shall I just do that one as well real quick? Let's see if I can do that. That's the pos. No, 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 no. There you go. Made light there too. So cool. Gosh, these wires. It's making me sweat today. Good stuff. Right, so yes, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for shouting out my own mistakes and where I made fire. It's all good fun at the end of the day. Have a wonderful week. We shall see you next weekend with a bit of luck. Busy week next week. Going to a swap meet to sell some stuff and buy some stuff for this. See you then. Bye.